Ubisoft has just released the teaser trailer for the latest installment of the Assassin's Creed series, and well, the reception has been pretty good. Is what I would say if I wasn't a terminally online degenerate who spends way too much time doom scrolling on Twitter. So yeah, let's talk about it. Greetings and salutations everyone, it's me, AZTV, and this is AZTV News. Phineas T. Barnum, yes, that Barnum, from Barnum and Bailey, once famously said, all publicity is good publicity, and it seems Ubisoft is inclined to agree with him as they are giving a masterclass in creating controversy when it comes to their newest addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Whether it be their truly questionable pricing model or their decision to make the long-awaited Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan feature a co-protagonist that is not Japanese. Honestly, at this point, I'm unsure if Ubisoft is incredibly bold, incredibly stupid, or if they're galaxy brain playing 5D chess from the year 3077, because if the lead up to Stellar Blade has taught us anything, it's that Ragemaxxing as a marketing strategy is truly genius, and the internet is full of useful idiots, like the orbit of one Mark Kern, aka Grummz, who is certainly going to give you his hot take whenever a game stars a black person that exists outside of Africa or a female that he has not deemed fuckable. And of course, his takes aren't that great. And I don't just say this because I think he is the human personification of a toad. I say that because after he infects us with his particular brand of brain rot, he usually has to start backpedaling. Like he did when he made a tweet claiming that the story of Assassin's Creed Shadow was changed to add Yasuke as the male protagonist. Yasuke being the person who is commonly known throughout history as the African samurai who served under Nobunaga. Grummz, along with others whose historical research comes in the form of reading tweets, also wanted to make very clear that Yasuke was not a samurai, he was a retainer. Now, while it is true that he was a retainer, they failed to mention that a retainer, a person who is a vassal in feudal Japan, and a vassal being a subordinate who is given lands and or titles as a reward for their allegiance to their lord, a retainer can also be, and typically are, samurai who serve in the military. Now that we've cleared that up, let's jump back to the claim that Yasuke was not in the original story. Grummz sources that information from a user who claimed to have worked on narrative elements for a feudal Japan themed Assassin's Creed game back in 2013 and 2014, which is kind of strange because as far as I could ascertain, Assassin's Creed Shadow has only been in development for about 4 years, and it's actually considered to be one of the longer development cycles for an Assassin's Creed game. As I said earlier, Grummz does end up walking all this back. He says, while he can't go into specifics, the poster of the original story may not have had all the information, and ultimately, the details laid out in their story turned out to mostly be false. He then pivots to talk about an edit war on Yasuke's Wikipedia page, which, according to him, is the real issue, and then says, as long as the game is good and it doesn't have DEI, he's fine with the game. We'll come back to DEI in a bit. However, at this point, the damage is already done. The original tweet had 1.4 million views, 18,000 likes, and was retweeted over 2,600 times. And here's a little lesson in media. You can publish blatantly false information, use the sensationalism to get engagement, and as long as you correct the record, it's all okay, because barely anybody looks at or cares about the corrections. The original tweet, 18,000 likes. The correction to that tweet got 1,600. The original tweet got 2,600 retweets. The correction got less than 200. The original got 1.4 million views. The correction, 100,000 views. So just keep that in mind the next time you see a headline. Bars. Now, about that DEI bit. For those who don't know, DEI stands for diversity, equality or equity, and inclusion. It's a concept originally designed back in the 1960s to improve the corporate work culture as more diverse groups of people were entering the workforce back during the peak of the civil rights era. In the modern era, however, it's mostly just an email that's going to go directly to spam or in the trash, or a computer-based training module that you're going to skip through. However, some people would have you believe it's the driving force of decision making for these corporations. Spoiler alert, it's not. They care about money. They always have and always will. And while there may be consulting firms that are overpaid to send somebody to an office and say, well, what if the main character was a woman of color? Those people are indeed cringe, but for the most part, they exert very little power over the decision-making processes of corporations. So the next time you hear somebody yapping about how DEI is ruining the world, you can basically turn off your brain, because nothing intelligent or anything of significance is going to be said by that person. That insane tangent aside, by most accounts, it does seem like Yasuke was indeed an African guy who became a samurai, and I truly don't get the hate that Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting. I thought we didn't care about identity politics. I thought we just wanted our media to be good. I thought we just wanted good gameplay. I thought we just wanted good characters and good story. Everything else be damned. Why would Ubisoft skip out on telling this interesting story so it can just basically be another version of Sekiro or Rise of the Ronin or Neo or Tenchu or Ninja Gaiden or Ghost of Tsushima? Maybe if we had all this energy rallying against bad monetization practices, we wouldn't have these garbage multi-tier game purchases that include $130 editions of a game, which, by the way, just pay $17 for the Ubisoft Connect account. You get all the Ultimate Edition perks, beat the game, then cancel your membership. It's not like buying games means you own it anyway, because as we all know, nowadays, these publishers can just take games down for no reason at any time, and that money is just gone. Honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody cares about any of this. Gamers are posting rage bait for engagement. Ubisoft will use the rage bait as free advertisement up until the release, and the game will probably still do well because it's Assassin's Creed. Anyway, that's all for me. Thank you for tuning in for another brief AZTV news. And until next time, stay chill, keep it real. Peace.